Call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. All members are present. Approval of the agenda. We have two changes. We are taking 7E off, the accepting bid for the shelter restrooms, and we are adding 7H, approve resolution 2021-69, authorizing execution of closing documents. Is there any other changes? Council? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with those two changes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes of the July 21st, 2021 regular meeting. You all received them in your packet. Is there any changes, corrections, or clarification needed for those minutes? Hearing nothing, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 21, 2021 regular meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Shellen, do I have a second? Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. This brings us to our public open forum. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Seen Keith stand up, I thought he was coming.
He's
Is there anyone here that wants to speak to the council? Our public open forum is now closed. We have no public hearings. We'll go on to reports and presentations. City Engineer, Keith.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Scott throwing me off. I'm not doing the first.
All right.
Information Center project, things are going pretty well down there. A lot of fill going on, building pads, parking lot areas, starting to get closer. You probably, if you've been by, a little closer to seeing what it's going to look like. An item that comes up later, a change order, is related to a bunch of excess topsoil we found on the site that the mornings did. A lot of that's been hauled off. We're getting to the point where there's not enough topsoil left on site to be used there. However, once again, with this whole project's been hurry and trying to match everything together, whether buildings, the other building sites are going to go. It was bid that we're going to put the topsoil back over all of those sites you can see that we can stabilize. Now, if one or two of them start the construction, we may not want to do that. We were just talking about we need to make a decision really soon, because some of that material then might have to get hauled off and otherwise will stay on site. So just, it's been real tough to get everything to marry up on that project that we just want so fast. But we'll figure it out. But that's one lingering issue that's before us rapidly here. So, but other than that, things are going well. Utilities are all in, starting to, the utilities, the private utilities have been moved now, so we're able to get that parking lot area on the north side for phase 1. We'll start getting that constructed here soon. That's most of the grade through there, so we'll start working on that. So should be able to meet schedules to get that taken care of. But there is a little delay, which is also a change order to move that initial interim date back a little bit because of some of the extra work that they had to do. So you'll see that in a minute. The South District Park project, we are rapidly moving forward with the plans and specifications for that. The plan should be to be able to come before you at the next meeting, so the 15th. So we should see it then, and we'll start for the meeting for if the council chooses to move forward on that project as well. But that's it's going well so far on that project. So, that's about it. That's on the agendas. The other project from last year, we were still just getting the cleanup. Unfortunately, some trees are down.
Questions on that black dirt that's extra? If there, is that dirt that's going to still be in excess even if after someone starts building on those other lots that they might want to use for their own landscape purpose, or is it something we would let them worry about?
The excess dirt, once we haul it off, and that is our material. I know that the city of Works wants to haul some of that to their site. We're not going to take it all. But it's up to us what we want to do. If we want to allow them to take from that pile, then we certainly could. But it's our facility, that is our material to utilize however we see fit.
Okay. I was just wondering whether or not it'd be, if it's not an overabundance, that maybe our city guys can just haul that when they get a chance or whatever, based on the timing of the building of the other lots.
Yeah, I think we have time for them, and I believe the plan is to start hauling that soon. I'm not sure if the week or anything different, but I heard it's going to be maybe next week that they start hauling that material. They just want to stay kind of out of their way. They don't want to
Right.
mess up the contractor or all of those that have come in against that, so we want to be careful about that. But they start hauling, and I think he's willing to take as much as he can fit, on the site job.
Right.
Public work. I'm not gonna be able to take all of it, but we might be able to take 500 yards, maybe a little bit more perhaps. So
Okay. Okay,
that's good material, so.
good. Any other questions? Okay. Ambulance department?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Going to give the second quarter ambulance report tonight with you guys. A little bit of uptick in calls this quarter. We had a total of 224 calls this quarter, and which brings a total of 431, which is about 12 calls over last year at this time. Of those, we billed out 177 calls, totaling 345. We got 93 transfers this quarter, which included 15 ALS or advanced life support transfers. That totaled 158 total transfers for the year. You can see in the sheet below on your handout the various hospitals we go through, in both Minnesota and North Dakota. So we are putting a lot of miles on the ambulances and keeping the crews extremely busy. Of those, we have 47 no transports for some reason. Again, there's a list below that of kind of tallying up this year's no transports, which totaled now 77. We had no special events this quarter. Actually, I think we had one. We did participate in the Memorial Day service. We did a few mutual aids. We assisted Melrose Ambulance twice, Lifelink once, at a helicopter that had a mechanical issue, so we brought their crew invitation to St. Cloud. 3 North Ambulance out of Alexandria assisted, and we also assisted Lifelink at a scene that they ended up transporting. We did also assist the hospital in 3 transports. One return trip back to Sauk Center Hospital, 1 transport to a residence, and 1 transport to another hospital. Those 3 calls were paid for by Sauk Center Hospital. That concludes my report. Is there any questions I can help with?
Questions? Concerns? Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Park Board report.
The park board met. So the park board met on Tuesday, August 3rd in regular session. They did get their update on the public works report and the campground finance report. They did review the bid for the campground shelter, and that was going to be on your agenda tonight, but we're going to be meeting with the contractor on that next week before we bring it to the council. They received updates on the various park projects that are in process. They did discuss the fountain, the boy-girl fountain replacement, and they had a little presentation from Artify Sauk Center and gave them directions to kind of develop a little plan, because they're thinking about working with the city on developing a new fountain for that structure, or for that park. And then also they are recommending Phase 1 to go for quotes for the red schoolhouse renovation, and that is on your agenda for later tonight. Any questions?
Comments, questions?
How's cleanup going with, after the storm down in the campground in the park? I guess campground maybe isn't.
So today they were doing a lot of black dirt and stump removal. Yesterday, they were doing some of the larger chunks of trees that they had cut, and then last week, they did most of the brush work. So they kind of took, first they went and did get everything off the roads, then all the brushwork off the parks, then they came back on another phase and got all the big logs out of there, and then today they were doing stumps and dirt. So it's starting to look really good already. There's still a lot of fine tuning left to do, and a lot of holes to be filled around town, but they're doing a really good job. The city of Melrose came in and helped us a couple different days with their crew and their equipment, and that helped us a great deal as well.
Awesome.
Vicki, I have a question. Where do they send those big stumps and those huge pieces?
We have actually some of that big stuff they cut in longer lengths, and there's a gentleman that has a sawmill. And he
Okay,
came and he's sawing them into the lumber.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Is it okay if I ask the question? Well, I don't know if this is the best place to ask it, but I had called you with a question the other day about the sirens. Is this an appropriate place to ask that question?
Oh, that's fine. The question is, why didn't the sirens go off at that storm? Our sirens are set off by Stearns County Emergency Management, and this was a very small cell in the very western edge of their territory, and it didn't indicate on radar or anything that there was any tornadic activity, so the spotters, I don't believe, were sent out. The fire department will go out as spotters, and they were not sent out, and so it's kind of an anomaly, a very small cell that just came through very quickly. That wasn't really anticipated, so that's why they didn't go off.
Siren on my weather radio went off. Woke me up.
Thank you, Vicki.
Okay. EDA report?
So the EDA met today at noon at the City Hall Conference Room. They did receive their report from the Chamber of Commerce on Sinclair Lewis Days. They did discuss the plating and the road names for South Sauk Center Industrial Park. So we have to come up with a couple of road names for that. They did receive the report that the new plat for the interpretive center, the access easements, the private utility easements, and the pond maintenance declaration, they've all been recorded down at Stearns County now. So now we're just waiting for the closing on that first lot. They also did talk about the process that we're going through on all three different lots. They're all three in different various areas of moving through the process, and Lot 1 will be the first one to close, and I believe Lot 2 will be the second one, and Lot 3 will be the third one. So we're just going to kind of go in order. And also they talked about the potential TIF financing arrangement for Lot 2, and that's something you called a public hearing at the last meeting to be held September 1st. And then they had discussed earlier the opportunity for some private or some residential development, but now a private developer has come forth and may take that on, and so we're just kind of sitting on hold while we're waiting to see that. And so they do have, I believe, no action items for you tonight on that. Well, I guess there's one, authorizing execution of closing documents, but that's.
Okay. Questions? Okay, move on to action items. 7A, approved change order number 1, Aerosmith project.
These are what Keith was talking about, the change order. There's some different items that need to come up. The one was there's a removal of excess topsoil, and then the replacement of the removed topsoil, so we're hauling dirt back and forth. Then there was the installation of an outlet control structure to meet the MnDOT and watershed requirements. That's down in that the MnDOT ditch there. And then we had to do the turn lane striping on 12th Street. That was a county requirement of our permit to access onto 12th Street. So the total estimated cost of all these changes is $61,954.12.
Questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to approve the change order number 1 for Aerosmith project?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7B, approved pay request number 1, Aerosmith project.
This is pay request 1 for Markley Excavating. This is for the Aerosmith or the Interpretive Center project. The contract amount was $412,000 and change, and at the date of this request, the value completed to date was $218,000, so just over half of the project was completed at the date of this request. We do retain the $10,904.34, so we always have that retainage on there, leaving a balance of $207,182.61 to be approved with this request. So the action requested, approve pay request number 1 for Markley Excavating, $207,182.61.
Questions?
Does the, does that include what's left, include the change order that we just,
No, the change order will be, next time there'll be an added line item to show
Okay.
that change order.
Right.
okay.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve the pay request number 1?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Shellen, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7C, approve resolution 2021-64, calling for public hearing on road vacation.
So this is kind of a final item for that whole Getty Street Aerosmith project. There is a small sliver of right-of-way that was turned back to the city in the 70s by MnDOT. Remains to be vacated to the adjacent property owner. Where that is it's right in front of the Gopher Prairie Motel. So kind of like their driveway, and between there and the fire hydrant, there's a little sliver of land that for some reason, when the city got the land, had that little bump out. And so what we're requesting to do here is to call a public hearing and to release our interest in that property back to the property owner. So really what we would do is just anything beyond our 33 feet, we would vacate to that owner. So this is resolution 2021-64, calling for that public hearing on the vacation.
Okay. What date were we planning at the next council?
The
meeting?
18th of August.
18th of August, okay. Any questions or concerns? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2021-64?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe,
I'll second.
second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7D, authorize execution of satisfaction cabinet components.
In 1998, the city entered into a tax increment financing agreement with Cabinet Components to assist with the development of their property. The resulting note was satisfied by payment in full in 2016, or I believe it's 2012, and the TIF district was decertified. It's been requested that the city issue a satisfaction of mortgage on this note. Typically, in the tax increment financing district, it says right in there that it expires at a certain date, but for some funding or some banking issues, they want to have an actual satisfaction recorded. So what I'm looking for to hear is just to authorize the execution of the satisfaction of tax increment financing note.
Questions, comments? Do I have a motion to authorize the execution of the satisfaction?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Shellen, a second.
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Any other questions? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7F, approve resolution 2021-66, authorizing quotes for Red Schoolhouse repairs.
So at the meeting last night, the park board discussed the next steps for the repair and renovation of the Red Schoolhouse. They did break it down into 2 phases. Phase 1 is more the critical, get this done, get it buttoned up for winter, and then phase 2 is more the ongoing repairs that are needed. The park board recommends that we do phase 1 right away as soon as we can get it done, and we'll talk about phase 2 for next year. So phase 1 includes anchoring the building down to the foundation, installing some vent covers, fabricating an access door to get into that lower area, or into the crawl space, install a 36-inch door on the north end of the building. That was where the door used to go to that lean-to on the back. We're recommending doing a 36-inch door because that makes it ADA accessible. We need to install a floor in the porch because the porch floor was poured after it was on site at the old location, had to be jackhammered out, so there is no floor in the porch. Install concrete steps on the south end of the building, similar to what it had before, with a railing, and then repair the chimney, because it had to be cut off 18 inches to make it work for the transport. So those are the things that we would go out for bid to have repaired this fall, or as soon as we can get that done. So what we're requesting today is to solicit quotes for the repair of the schoolhouse, and we would bring them back to you on September 1st.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to go out for bids?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Diane,
I'll second.
second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7G, approve resolution 2021-67, authorizing sale of equipment.
We had, the Public Works Department had an old bandsaw that they were not using, and we advertised it for sale through the online bidding process. We did have, the following was a high bid for central equipment sales for $250. And so this resolution 2021-67 authorized the sale of that excess equipment.
Questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2021-67?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Shallen. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7H, Resolution 2021-69, authorizing execution of closing documents.
So this has to do with the change of the legal description for the info center property, now that the new plat has been recorded and has been divided into 3 lots. The attorney for the buyer of Lot 1 is requesting a new resolution authorizing the execution of the closing documents. So that's what I have. I have here is a authorization from the city authorizing the mayor and myself to sign the closing documents to convey Lot 1, Block 1, Aerosmith Edition Plat 3. Before it was Aerosmith Edition Plat 2, and it was a meets and bounds description, and now it's just the lot numbers. So that's what we're looking for. That's 2021-69, authorizing the execution of the closing documents.
Questions, comments? Go ahead.
No. Did you get that, there was a piece that you were trying to get figured out between them? Did you get that figured out? Well,
I've
with
been-
the.
I've been figuring out so many
The
pieces to this puzzle.
Probably the stormwater.
Well, no,
The cross easement?
yeah,
Yeah.
the gourmet,
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
been taken care of.
okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious how you got that figured out, so,
We did it as a % of sales.
okay.
Right. So, any other questions? Otherwise, I'll need a motion to approve resolution 2021-69.
Motion to approve.
Motion by
I'll
Joe,
second.
second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. We have no unfinished business. We have no new business. That brings us to our consent agenda. The council to consider the following consent agenda items. We have schedule of claims, unpaid claims of $832,587.17. Paid claims of $1,910.83 for a total of $834,498. We have resolution number 2021-68, accepting contributions of $130 from the Men's Card Playing Group to be allocated to the Senior Center, and $50 from Westbrook Ag Power Incorporated in memory of Paul Tyson to be allocated to the Fire Department. And on behalf of the city and the council, I'd like to acknowledge those contributions and thank them people for that. We have gambling application for exempt permit request from the Pumpkins and Monkeys Nursery School for a raffle for October 24th, 2021 at the Holy Family School. Is there any questions about the consent agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
I'll make a motion to
by-
approve.
Motion by Shallen, seconded by Heidi.
Sure.
Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Informational items, spectrum lineup changes, that's normal, one we get just about every meeting.
They're always changing that up.
Yeah. And is there any questions about that? Otherwise, we have reached the end of our agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Joe, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.